Hello everyone, and welcome back to Little Talks Big Decisions, where we discuss money in a frank, approachable, and easy to understand way. For those of you new to this channel, my name is Anh, an 11th grade student with a passion for finance and a desire to share my knowledge with others. In the first episode, we briefly explored what money is, why financial literacy is important, and the difference between saving and investing, so make sure you check out episode 1 not to miss any fundamental knowledge we have covered. In today's episode, I want to start with an honest question. Have you ever checked your bank account and wondered, where did all my money go? If that sounds familiar, you're not bad with money. You just haven't started tracking it yet. Before we dive deeper into today's topic, I would like everyone to understand the term cash flow. What is cash flow? Cash flow is simply when money comes in versus when money comes out. There's nothing complicated about cash flow. If money comes in more than it comes out, you'll feel more stable. On the other hand, if money comes out more than it comes in, you'll start to feel stressed. Feeling financially stressed doesn't necessarily mean that we're earning too little of an income. It just means that we're unaware of our cash flows. Firstly, I'd like you to imagine cash flow as water. When you get your paycheck, consider it as money flowing in. And similarly, when you're spending it, consider it as money flowing out. If held in a bucket with big holes or too many holes, the water will escape faster and sometimes even run out completely, no matter how much you put in it. This also goes for money. The more you spend unconsciously, the harder it is to manage the flow, leading to a possibility of completely running out. Budgeting is simply finding and controlling these holes. In context, most overspending doesn't happen from one big purchase. It happens small, unconsciously, and through daily decisions being made. A real-life example of this would be in the daily routine that some people might have. Let's say we go to Starbucks for a cup of coffee every morning. This $4 might seem small, but given that this purchase happens every day, this purchase might turn into a routine that costs hundreds and even thousands a month. This is an example of how even a small daily routine can cause your money to flow out too much or too quickly, causing yourself unnecessary financial stress. Small numbers may seem harmless, but repeated small numbers are powerful. Additionally, we're living in a world full of subscriptions to things like streaming platforms, music apps, learning apps, cloud storage. Each of these might just be a little, but when you stop checking, they might keep charging. Money loves to autopilot, but your wallet doesn't and sometimes can't even afford it. Therefore, keeping a habit of checking the subscriptions and purchases often may allow you to better control your finances and even get rid of unnecessary purchases that you no longer need. A type of spending that can be considered hardest to control for most people is emotional spending. This may happen unconsciously and comes in a variety of forms. Emotional spending can include you buying something not because you need it, but because you feel tired, stressed, bored, or you just want a reward. Spending gives a short emotional boost, but the financial effect stays much longer. This doesn't make you irresponsible, it makes you human. But awareness is power. Here's a rule that can change how you spend forever. If everything feels like a need, saving becomes impossible. In this context, needs are things that are required to live and function. This may include rent, basic groceries, transport to work or school, electricity, and water. Wants, on the other hand, are things to improve your lifestyle. This includes things like eating out often, buying trendy clothes, upgrading gadgets, convenience spending, and etc. Wants are not bad. Life is meant to be enjoyed, but when wants quietly become essential, your money disappears faster. Remember, budgeting is not about removing joy, it's about choosing joy intentionally. We've been talking a lot about budgeting, but what does budgeting really mean? A lot of people hear the word budget and immediately feel uncomfortable. They imagine strict rules, no fun, feeling guilty all the time, but budget is actually the opposite. A budget is simply a plan for your money before you spend it. Without a plan, spending is emotional. With a plan, spending becomes intentional. A good budget lets you spend on things that you love without dealing with anxiety. Budgeting doesn't require much. Two beginner-friendly methods may include the 50-30-20 rule and the digital envelope method. The 50-30-20 rule is where you divide your income into 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for saving or investments. This method is considered flexible and easy to remember. Similarly, the digital envelope method is where you separate your money into categories such as food, transport, shopping, entertainment, and etc. When one category runs out, you stop spending in that category. This method helps to prevent overspending without using complicated math. In today's episode, we explored the term cash flow, why money disappears, needs versus wants, what budgeting really is, and easy ways to start. In the next episode, we'll be diving deeper into savings and everything you'll need to know to set yourself up for a strong, fundamental foundation for controlling your money. Thank you for listening to the podcast Little Talks, Big Decisions, and if you found this episode helpful, please consider subscribing and sharing it with your friends.